What up, YouTube? It's NoChainzz, and I am back for another episode of my Memphis Grizzlies MyGm here in NBA 2K14. And to start off this episode, you guys see I am negotiating a trade with the owner of the Oklahoma City Thunder, and I'm trying to get Dante Exum along with Perry Jones in exchange for Tayshaun Prince, who is an aging small forward, and along with our second round pick in the 2015 draft. And we already have 2 first-round picks, so I'm not worried about sending that off. But as you guys see, we pull off the trade. Kevin Murphy, the owner of the Thunder, thought it would be a good trade for them. But the real prize for me, honestly, is Dante Exum. I'm going to be putting him at the small forward position. I think he played some small forward in his career. So I'm going to be starting him this game immediately versus Carmelo Anthony. I'm going to be throwing him right into the fire and seeing if he's good enough to guard the threes, which is pretty much what I bring him in here to do, or I brought him in here to do, was guard those threes, because we already have Courtney Lee and Dante Exum who can guard the 2. And we want somebody who could guard those threes and shut them down, or at least make it hard for them. So Exum will be starting at the 3. But along with him, we also got Perry Jones. And I wanted him because he's a young small forward who we can have possibly come off the bench behind our draft pick next year, because I'm going all in for the draft next year, trying to draft a small forward. I'm scouting all kinds of small forwards. I'll give you guys an update on that soon in the next episode or so. But the Utah Jazz have had a very nice offseason. They ended up landing Carmelo Anthony and Joel Embiid in the NBA draft. So they've had a very good offseason. So they've gotten a lot better. It'll be a test for this team. As you guys see, Michael Conley pulls up for 3. And our rookie, Dante Exum, has been playing very, very well. But you guys know our strategy going into every game is work the points in the paint. That's what we really like to do. We like to abuse those centers with Marc Gasol and use our size advantage that we have. And there you guys see the size meant nothing as Marc Gasol gets dunked on there. But I'm just going to talk a little bit more about the trade and my plans for the offseason really fast before I talk about it too much, because I know I do that a lot. I end up talking about the team more than the game that's on the screen in most of my commentaries. But anyway, Perry Jones, I think he can get a lot better for this team. I could put him in a few training camps or a training camp, and he'll be a much better player. And his potential isn't that good. I think it's like a C+. But I honestly didn't bring him in here to be a starter. I brought him to be a role player at the most off of the bench. And look at that crazy crossover and dunk by Dante Exum. And I found out that he plays a lot better when he's playing at the point guard position, where he has the offense and control. But yeah, anyway, that was my thinking behind the trade to get Perry Jones and Dante Exum. And another reason why I like Dante Exum is the fact that he can shoot, and I like to surround our Twin Towers in the paint with very good shooters. And you guys see he showcases that right there. But anyway, you guys may be wondering why I didn't get somebody better to play my 3, like Harrison Barnes or Tobias Harris maybe. I really wanted Harkless or Tobias Harris, but that didn't work out because I ended up talking with the Magic GM, and it leaked out into the press, and I ended up talking to the press about it, and I said it was simply business. And that made the trust for the GM go down. Now he won't answer the phone calls. It was a really big mess. I mean, he just won't answer my phone calls, so I was really mad about that. There was no way I could get Harrison Barnes without trading the Zebo and a first-round pick or something like that. So I just wasn't willing to do that. But that brings me to my next point as we're going into halftime. And I forgot to mention that the Grizzlies, we are only 5-5. We need to do a lot better. We are like very mediocre right now. But yeah, I'm only going to say one more thing about trading, and that's the fact that Gasol and Zebo both expired after this season. I'm not sure if they'll want to re-sign, and if they do, I'll pretty much have to make them take a lot less money, because my owner is a very big stickler when it comes to the money. He doesn't like us spending a whole lot of money. So that being said, if it doesn't look like we're going to make a run for the playoffs at the halfway point of the season, I may trade one or both of them in order to get picks or a young player that can be built on. I know I saw a trade for Zebo and Marc Gasol for Rudy Gay to come back to Memphis. But I'm not sure. I think if I traded one of them, it would probably be Zebo, because we have Eric Davis and he's catching up to Zebo as far as overall, and he's a lot younger. So, but I'll only be open to trading these guys if we're not in the playoff hunt, because honestly, if we're not making it to the playoff hunt with these guys, I think we should go ahead and move them and try to get something to put ourselves in a good position, even though we're already in good position going into this offseason, but put ourselves in an even better position going into this offseason by adding some more young players and some young talent. And we could trade these players to a team that is in a position to win now, and they need those pieces to make a playoff run, because if we're not making it, I think we should just go ahead and set ourselves up for the next season. But that's just me. But like I said, if we're in the playoff hunt, this is totally void. I'm not going to be trading anybody, because this team is very competitive in the playoffs. If we make it to the 8th seed, or we barely squeak in at an 8 or 7, I think we could take down one of the top seeded teams, because like I said, this team is very competitive in the postseason, and that's what I like to see from the Grizzlies, and which is one of the reasons why I chose the Grizzlies, because I really like this team, especially in the playoffs. I love watching this team in the playoffs. But anyway, let me know what you guys think. But that's all I had to say about that. Let's get back into this game. You guys see, if you've been paying attention, the Grizzlies have been behind all day. They've been trying to claw back into this game and take the lead. But we finally get to take the lead here with a rare point guard tip in by Michael Conley. Very athletic play by him there, and that gives us the lead. But Trey Burke will come right back and push their lead to 3 with a little bit over 5 minutes left in regulation. And there's Dante Exum realizing that they were going to switch off of him and pulls up for the 3, and that ties things up at 86 with 4 minutes left in the game. So here's Gordon Hayward going to work on Dante Exum, and he gets the basket, but we still lead by 1 point. But there's Hayward again with a very tough basket. I don't think he should have made that, but there's Carmelo Anthony pulling up for a short-range jump shot, and that pushes their lead to 3 points. And here's Conley trying to find something. He sees Cephalosha wide open. He dishes it off to him, and he knocks down the 3. That is a big shot by Cephalosha. That's what we like to see. And then we're going to go right back in the paint to tie things up at 94 with Zach Randolph. And there, Zach Randolph gets the dish from Cephalosha and gets fouled. And he will go to the line for 2. He will knock down the first. And he is trying to push our lead to 2 points with this foul shot here. And it is up, and it is good. So we lead 96 to 94. We have really come back in this game. But here's another tough basket. These Jazz players are just playing some great offense around the basket, and there is Michael Conley getting around the screen and taking the lead for the Memphis Grizzlies. Here we get a chance to pretty much put this game away. Let's see what we can do. Michael Conley calling for the screen. There's Zebo cutting, and he pulls up for a jump shot, and it barely touches the rim. He misses it. We miss out on a very big opportunity there. So the Jazz have a chance to take the lead or tie it and take it to overtime. Let's see what they do. Trey Burke trying to figure something out. He's trying to cross over on Michael Conley. Conley, however, will not budge. He gives it off to Carmelo Anthony. Michael Conley gets lost in defense, leaves Trey Burke wide open, and he will knock down the 3 to give them the lead, 99 to 98. We still have an opportunity here. Michael Conley trying to cross over, trying to create his own shot, puts it up, and will miss the potential game winner. That was a very bad look for a last shot, although they only had 5 seconds. And very bad defense by Michael Conley there, getting lost on that last play, leaving Trey Burke wide open for 3. I don't see how that happens. Michael Conley, you played great. You brought us back. You hit a couple of key threes and a couple of lay-ins to keep us in this game, but you got lost on that last play. The one thing you don't do is leave somebody open, especially when they're as hot as Trey Burke. You don't leave them open behind the 3-point line. So Michael Conley, I'm a little bit disappointed in you, but it's only one game. We fought a 5-6 on the early season, so we still have a lot of time to turn it around. But let's look at the numbers. Dante Exum only had 27 minutes, but scored the most out of everybody. Had a very good fourth quarter. Michael Conley did as well, despite I'm not going to say losing a game for the Grizzlies, but that last play, I mean, I don't even know. I was just very disappointed in him. Marc Gasol had 18, only grabbed 5 rebounds, though. And as far as Cephalosha, how he did on the defensive side of the ball against Carmelo, he did a very good job. Although Carmelo did score 19, that's not that much considering it is Carmelo Anthony. And also he made him go 7 for 20, so that's very good, and no 3-pointers for him, and he was defending him for the majority of the game. Joel Embiid nabbed a double-double with 18 and 10, and also missed a lot of his shots. But I hope to see you guys in the next episode, and I'll see you guys then. Later.